Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we have a local champion of abuse awareness here. She sees at least one case of family violence on the average every day. Bexar County Sheriff Susan Pamerleau is here, and also a survivor of domestic abuse. And this is a very important issue to you, as we said, literally every day.
It is. And as you said, I am a survivor of family violence. And so I think that's an important part of the witness and the responsibility I have to this community. Every day, not just one, but usually multiple situations of family violence show up on our end of shift reports. And so as I see those, it's an epidemic with our community. And so it's important that we bring awareness to this and make sure that people know that there is help and there are ways that they can address the issue.
And you talked about yourself being a survivor, not a victim, but a survivor. And you've talked about this before.
Yes. I would have been dead at age 32 had I not had an exit plan and family and friends that helped me get out of a situation. I'd been in an abusive marriage for over 7 years. And when attention and charm turned to criticism and control, I really wasn't prepared to deal with that kind of situation because I grew up in a loving, nurturing family.
And a lot of people are afraid to, or they don't know how to report it.
Yes. How do they overcome that? What would you tell them? If an individual's in an abusive situation, call 911. But also, you know, there are resources. The Bexar County Family Justice Center, the Battered Women's and Children's Shelter, and I think you've got some information on those.
We do.
But it's, you know, work with the investigators to get the abuser out of the home. Work with the prosecutors to bring the individual to justice. And
also, you should really have a plan if you can. But if you can't, go ahead and leave that abusive situation.
Yes.
What about a plan?
You know, it's important to think through an exit plan because, one, that can be a factor that would cause the individual to be more violent, a trigger point. And so it's important to think through how one would leave the situation. If you have children, also, and how do you arrange for their care? And so in my case, I left a note and said I would call. And that was before cell phones and caller ID. But as I was talking to him, he said, "Do you want to hear me do it?" At that point, I quietly hung up the phone, and that's when he put a bullet in his head.
But you weren't there.
No.
You could have both.
If I was there, I know that he would have put a bullet in my head and then in his. There go I, but by the grace of God.
And now we also hear from people who maybe see something from a family member or relative, but they're afraid to do anything because they don't want to trigger anything. How should that be handled? If someone had seen this situation with you, what would you have told them at the time?
You know, I think people are embarrassed about these situations, but friends, family are important in bringing it to their attention. One might even suggest see someone for help, get some counseling. That's what I did. And I found somebody who helped me realize I was in a dangerous situation.
And again, there is a lot of information. We put some of it on the screen before, and we'll have it on our website as well. I want to thank you for sharing your story. And again, we have the Battered Women and Children's Shelter here. There's a 24-hour crisis hotline. There's the Peace Initiative. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and you see it every day. Is it worse sometimes when money is a problem? Alcohol and money, those are the triggers.
Alcohol, money, around the holidays, those are all triggers.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sheriff Susan Pamerleau. Appreciate it.
Thanks,